So again, hi Arbios. Is it Arbios?
Yes, it is. But
It sounds a bit Greek or something. I don't know.
yes, actually, it does. It does sound Greek, but I'm Albanian, so
Ah,
it's kind of a Latin name, I guess.
uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
yes, it's kind of complicated, as all of Balkans is probably.
Oh yeah, most probably. Most
Yep.
probably that's the case. Okay, so we're starting this project management game, and I need from you to add some sort of settings for the game. So first of all, difficulty. I would suggest extremely hard, to be honest, uh, uh, because actually the difficulty will not be set up by the AI. The practice shows that if you are able to do everything you like and you want within this action time, then the difficulty is basically easy for any
Okay.
project
Yeah,
manager. Okay,
understand.
so I will not limit the number of actions you're going to
Okay.
take.
Okay.
And that's what actually regulates difficulty. But if I won't put extremely hard difficulty, you will basically solve the project within 1 month. So it's
Okay.
not going to be interesting for you.
Okay.
So then I need domain,
Mm-hmm.
I need country,
Mm-hmm.
um, I need project scale,
Mm-hmm.
and project management managers power level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we need to figure out before we start.
Okay.
Let's start with the domain. What domain would you like to try today?
Well, it's interesting because I've done some projects where I've failed, which I would like to test myself.
Oh, nice. Let's do it.
Which may be interesting to do right now. The first one is in the health industry. So
Straight away, I have an ask for you. I have a
yeah.
request.
Mm-hmm.
If after this game you could send me a case study on the
Mm-hmm.
project that you failed,
Mm-hmm.
I could turn this into the scenario for someone else, and
Well,
you can see how others
you
would
see,
fail, maybe.
yes, I would love to do that. The thing is, the
Is it
project.
NDA?
Yes, it is an NDA
Ah,
because I've still haven't gotten given up on the project. I
okay.
just it
Maybe
failed.
later then.
It failed only in securing or granting the grants that I applied for. That's why it failed from the beginning. But I still believe in the project, so I am not able to
Got
share it
it.
as much.
Okay, that's fine. Then pick and choose the domain. You can
Yeah.
choose the same domain, and we can
Uh,
maybe generate something like,
yeah. I was
similar.
maybe is a domain a VR, like virtual reality? Is that a domain?
Anything can be a domain.
Yeah. Okay.
We are
Let's go.
talking with AI.
This is also another project that I've led, which I would like to try once more.
Is it like virtual reality game development, or
It's
is it?
actually no, it wasn't a it. I mean, all of it is a game if you look at it like that. But the idea in this project was that using VR, we would help people create or build their own dream houses, and thus they would be able to take care of nature, of course, and choose and pick and choose everything to their likings of their house. So you could move furniture, move walls in different sides, so you can project your own home into your wishes, and then that could be used as an example that you could give to an architect or so on to further develop. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds fun and engaging and exciting. Nice.
It was a really interesting project. The country was in Austria.
Okay. The
Project
scale of
scale.
the project.
Well, we were working as a group of
Maybe just
four.
its number of people, the
Yeah,
team,
number
actual
of people.
team.
We were working as 4 people within the project. Yeah, 4 people, 5 people probably.
Okay, 5 people team.
Hmm.
And power in terms of like, do you manage the budget? Do you have unilateral decisions?
No, I didn't manage the budget. Uh, my tasks there, my obligations were that I would lead the technical part of the team, set goals of the project, check out for new or do research as to what our competitors were doing and how we could improve our MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had to also stay in contact with the stakeholders and make sure that their goals were aligned to what we were developing. Um, more as a
Mm-hmm.
technical lead probably, and to managing the team as well, but not so much higher level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've set everything up. I think we're ready to start.
Let's go.
Okay. All right. So the beginning is discussion with the PMO director or whoever else is going to be your line manager, who is going to invite you to the project and talk about the project a little bit. So let's start. And do you want to read it yourself, or I can read it for you? That's up to you. Because some of our listeners would
I'd
just
like
listen,
to. I'd like to read it myself actually, but do I have to read it with a voice? But probably the listeners can read it
Yes,
themselves.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we need
Okay.
to
Welcome
read
abroad.
it out loud.
We've got a high stakes challenge for you. The project is a virtual reality platform designed to help people create their dream homes, choosing everything to their liking, taking care of nature, and even projecting their design into real world environments before handing them off to an architect. It's a game changer in home design. But here's the deal, things aren't going well. The team is small, just 5 people, and you'll only have power over the technical direction, goal setting, and market research. Budget control is off the table. We need your leadership to turn things around. Right now, the tech progress is slow, the team isn't aligned, and the market research is, let's just say, it's not inspiring confidence. We believe in your expertise. You're the best person to get this project back on track. And hey, if you can fix this mess, I'll personally buy you a coffee, Austrian style. The Austrians are not so well known for coffee, but none of that instant stuff. Okay. Any questions before we jump in? No,
Yeah, so that's the
pretty
PMO director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You will have some sort of onboarding as well. So that's not the last time, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Let's jump straight
Yeah.
to onboarding. Okay, let's go. And yeah, at the beginning, it will be a little bit slow because we need to like get into the project context and dig a little bit deeper, but then it will be easier. Jonas. Oh, I had Jonas on my previous team.
Okay. Do you want me to read this part as well, or is it?
Yes, that's onboarding. That's really important,
okay.
Of course.
You sit with Jonas, the previous project manager, who looks tired but relieved to be handing this off. He starts talking, sipping on what's probably the 5th coffee of the day. Jonas, hey, thanks for taking this on. Honestly, this project has potential, but it's been a rough ride. Here's what you need to know. The team, 5 people, 2 developers, 1 UX designer, 1 VR specialist, and 1 market researcher. The mood, mixed. Some are frustrated, some demotivated, and none is just here for the paycheck. Okay. Biggest team issue. There's a disconnect between the VR specialist and the devs. They don't trust each other's expertise. It's slowing everything down. Tech progress. The core VR prototype is built, but it's unstable, crashes often. This is often the case. Features like realistic lighting and object scaling still don't work properly as well. Spot on. The devs are constantly rewriting parts of the code. Seems like they lack a clear plan. Market research, weak insights. The research so far is just a bunch of online surveys. We have no concrete user personas, just broad assumptions. We are not sure what feature set will actually make people buy this. Okay. Management issues, the business side. Mostly the investors is losing patience. They want to see tangible progress in 3 months. There's no structured roadmap, just a list of features joining everyone's arguing over the deadline. The project has 6 months left before you're supposed to launch an MVP. If you don't show something functional in 3 months, the investors might cut funding. Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, Jonas leans back. So
Yeah.
that's where we stand.
So
It's a mess. Okay.
yeah, so we have this like basic understanding of the project, and now before we start advancing time, you have an opportunity to just like review documentation, talk to people,
Oh, that's awesome.
make some calls, meetings
Meet the team.
with people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do to gather information to then make decisions. So you don't have to make decisions straight away, which is really good, I think.
I'd like to meet the team at first.
First, we meet the team. And what are you going to do with the team? What's the agenda?
I want to talk about the project and what they think about it. I'd like also to discuss on the responsibilities each of them has in the project.
Yeah.
And would like to know how happy they are with the progress they made so far.
Okay, so that's the first investigation. And that's I'm talking to AI right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Give us few days. Okay. Now, that's first thing we do. We meet with the team. Anything else?
Okay, so the second point, I'd like to see any documentation of the code and of course the technology that's being used to develop this. It might be Unreal Engine, might be Unity. I would also like to know the expertise or probably for how long the project has been going on. I think it was said at the beginning. I'm not so sure, but I would like to know that as well. And I would like.
So we have 6 months left.
6 months left,
and
it's not said. I think since when it started
yeah.
being developed, right?
Yes, we don't have that information, and we don't have the roadmap. That's what they stated.
And roadmap, yeah, we don't have a roadmap as well, but they won't give us that. So, okay. Anything else I would need to know? No, I think this might be the first two topics I would be interested in to further take more steps.
Okay. Okay. Let me read it for you then, maybe.
Yeah, no. I just get lost. Okay, you gathered a 5-person team in a small virtual meeting. The atmosphere is tense but professional. Here's what each person shares. Developer 1, Lucas, senior developer, opinion on the project, cool idea, but the execution is all over the place. Responsibility, backend, developer, and physics simulation for VR interactions. Happiness with progress, not great. We keep rewriting code because requirements keep changing. Biggest issue, the VR specialist keeps asking for things that don't make sense technically. We argue a lot. Yeah. Developer 2, Elena, mid-level developer. Opinion on the project, it's promising, but we need more structure, responsibility, front-end VR rendering, and UI UX implementation. Happiness with progress, I feel stuck. Half of my work gets reworked or scrapped. Biggest issue, I don't know the long-term vision. But I'm building a game engine, or am I building a game engine or a design tool? UX designer, Florian, creative or frustrated? Opinion of the project, I love the concept that I have no real user feedback to work with. Responsibility, UI UX, user interactions, making VR feel intuitive. Happiness with progress, I'm proud of my designs, but implementation keeps changing. Biggest issue, we are guessing what users want, no solid research. Okay, VR specialist, Martina, visionary but subborn opinion. This can revolutionize home designing if we do it right. Responsibility, ensuring VR feels real, accurate, scaling, and physics. Happiness, frustrated devs don't trust my input and I don't trust theirs. Biggest issue, tech limitations keep forcing me to compromise on vision. Okay, market researcher, David doesn't seem to care much. Opinion, it's interesting, but I'm just doing my job. Responsibility, understanding market needs, competitors, and potential users. Happiness, not sure. I just send out surveys and report results. Biggest issue, I don't know if the data I collect is actually useful. Okay, so this is now important. You go through the project's technical documentation and history. Here's what you uncover: the tech stack, engine, Unity, but the code base is messy. Physics engine, custom built for precise object placement. Networking, not yet, meant to be single player for now. Okay, VR, support Oculus, ETS 5, but performance is inconsistent. Backend, light API for storing user projects built in Node.js. Cloud storage, AWS for saving projects. Okay, code documentation, backend, decent documentation, but recent changes aren't logged properly. Front end, many experimental features, some scrapped but still in the code base. Physics engine, poorly documented. Only Lucas fully understands it. VR interactions, lots of works due to disagreements between devs and VR specialists. Project history started about 9 months ago. Major pivots. Changed focus 3 times. First was AR, then VR, now more home design focused. Okay, that doesn't make so much sense since AR and then VR and then home design is actually something else. Current state, core functions exist but unstable.
I mean,
Okay.
it might be the case because, for example, they might work on requirements for 3 months for AR feature, and then they understand that this doesn't work. Let's
In
switch
AR,
to VR.
that's totally true, but I just don't understand when they said first AR and then VR. Then VR is actually now what they're doing now because it's not something else if they're more home design focused. It's VR but home design focused. That's the
true.
whole. Yep.
Very true.
Okay, interesting. Current observations: the team is skilled but disconnected. Tech exists, but the vision keeps shifting. The code base is unstable with poor documentation in key areas. Market research is weak. No real user testing. Next steps.
I won't tell you next steps. You tell me.
Okay. So at first, what I would really like to do is that we have to set a clear set of hierarchy on the project, and the tasks need to be appointed appropriately to each team member. We should focus more on small daily tasks. We should have group meetings every week where we would discuss our major flaws and next week's plans. Okay. What we need else is
so like a retro, right? Meeting on processes.
Yes.
Rather than, so processes flaws, not like scope and
no
work.
Scope. No, only processes. Yeah. And what else do we need? So I noticed
how would you work on this clear set of hierarchy on the project? What would you do exactly? Could you please elaborate a bit more?
Yes.
This is not for the AI. That's just for me. I'm interested.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people are being confused as to what their set of responsibility is, and I would like the more senior levels to be more more direct with the people under them. I've noticed that one of the employees was working, but all of her work was being scrapped off, which
Yeah.
which means that she's not having clear defined tasks in their table, and probably this is the whole mess up is being created since there's no clear goals as to where we want to achieve. We have no short-term goals or mid-term goals as to what we want to do with this project. So everybody understands that it's a great project, but we have no short-term goals or mid-term goals, which would also build an enthusiasm to the company or the employees if they're doing the small tasks into reaching a bigger goal in the future.
Got it. So more like governance for the project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. What else?
You've talked about it. Do you want to add something? Some of it, like setting goals or something?
Probably, yeah. Probably, yes. I maybe pointed it out a little bit in a daily task, but we need to set clear goals. Yes, short-term goals and mid-term goals. Goals, yes.
Do we need these goals to support like product strategy or something?
Yes, and that's exactly, because we also had a market researcher, which would be really helpful if he gave an input to these goals as well, we need to set clear goals, short term and mid term, and we need the market researcher to define or probably provide.
Define product strategy or sorry.
Product strategy, yes. Okay. What else would we need?
I can scroll up.
Yes, that'd be awesome, because I wanted to see one of our employees. It was, I think, the fourth one. Probably if you go more down.
VR specialist.
VR specialist, yes, because this is the main. His main. This is our main guy, basically, because it's hard to find a VR specialist.
That's girl Martina, but still.
Yes, Martina is visionary but stubborn. This is most of the time the case, because it's hard to find a Unity developer to start with that, and we need to really appreciate this girl. So frustrated, doesn't trust my input, just don't trust my input, and I don't trust their tech limitations. Keep forcing me to compromise on vision. So we can solve one of her issues by, for instance, connecting our VR with a PC, which would not limit her vision anymore, or she wouldn't have any tech limitations anymore. But if you do it right. Okay, can we go a little bit further up then?
Yeah.
But frustrated. No solid research. Okay, so he had this issue that we wasn't using research. Biggest issue was guessing what users wants. Not okay. Everybody has issues with the research. Can we go further up? I don't know the long-term vision, but I'm building a game engine or a design tool. Okay, this also is the short-term, long-term goal, which would address this issue. Further, the VR specialist keeps asking for things that don't make sense. Technically, we argue a lot. Okay, so these two people have probably an issue, which I don't know.
Yeah, they have a conflict.
Yeah, they have a conflict. They have a conflict, which we could solve in probably by probably, I don't know. I would like to sit them together, but
sounds really good.
Yeah.
Let's sit them together.
Yeah, and have an open. Have an open discussion.
Find some sort of collaborative solution.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Okay, I think this would be it for the first step.
Yeah, sounds really good. Yep. Sounds really good. Okay, so now I need to add my magic because this game doesn't really work without
Oh,
prompts.
okay.
It just deviates so much from the original idea
Uh-huh.
that I have to like bring it back on track every
Uh-huh.
time.
Okay. Okay.
So it's just technical. It's nothing to do
I
with what
understand.
you've just said.
Totally understand.
Okay, so 1 month
Later,
has
project status
passed.
update. Actions taken last month. Establish a clear project hierarchy. Tasks are now divided clearly among team members. Daily task tracking introduced to keep everyone aligned. Keep retrospectives and added to discuss problem openly. Set clear short-term and mid-term goals. Short-term, 1 month. Stabilize the VR prototype and gather real user feedback. Okay, great. Mid-term, 3 months. Define a market-driven feature set and prepare for a demo. Market research now has a defined role, tasked with identifying key user personas based on deeper research. Started organizing one-on-one interviews with architects and potential customers. Conflict resolution between Lucas and Martina. Meditated their discussion, mediated. Both agreed
Mm-hmm.
to have joint weekly reviews to align. Lucas will document constraints probably, and Martina will adapt feature requests based on the computer ideas of how human interactions work is great. Wish this would be the case.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say exactly. The spot on. So basically, ChatGPT is designed to please,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yes,
And
yes.
I was trying to tell him not to do that
Uh-huh,
specifically. I
uh-huh.
wanted him to do some stuff
Yeah,
that is not aligned with
yeah.
what we are saying, you know. But
Exactly.
he's so stubborn. It's
Uh-huh,
so
uh-huh.
difficult right now.
It
So
is. Yeah, it is.
I'm
It will look the glass always half full. So
yes.
optimistic about cases.
Yeah.
Tension.
So I'm struggling with that, but maybe in some future
Uh-huh.
versions I will be able to tackle this problem.
It's really interesting. Tension reduced, but not fully resolved yet. Okay, that's it. So maybe it left a little bit of playroom there. Current project performance metrics: CPI, cost performance index, 0.95, slightly under the budget efficiency. Yes. SPI, schedule performance index, still behind schedule but improving. Team morale, moderate. Structured work helped, but some frustrations remain. Major wins: more structured work, fewer last minute rewrites. Okay, VR stability improved, crash is down by 40%. That's awesome. Real user feedback is finally happening. Okay, that's awesome. Ongoing challenges: still behind schedule, progress is steady but slow. Okay. Some developers feel micromanaged. That's always the case, especially in such smaller teams with daily tasks. VR performance issues still persist on weaker hardware. Okay. So now we definitely need to do some enhancement.
No, you
Emergency
have some sort of
incident.
unplanned thing.
Way. A war room called crisis. The VR rendering engine is breaking after an update. Symptom: user reports glitching objects, incorrect scaling, and severe frame drops. Root cause unknown. The devs suspect a recent lightning optimization broke something. Oh, that's also so often the case. War room meeting. Who's involved? Lucas, definitely. Martina, and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
Okay. So first of all, we're gonna call for a meeting between me, Lucas, and Martina. The meeting's topic will be urgent system crash. And
Yeah, so I think they are already in this war room meeting right
they
now.
are.
So they're
Okay.
there.
Who's involved? So everybody's involved. Okay, so great. Okay, so everybody seems to be involved. Okay. So the meeting topic is going to be fixing the issue. Of course, what we need to do is we need to talk with our with Elena about rendering the the project in or doing some, it was called not enhancements, but
This lighting optimization, this one, right?
lighting optimization. Yes, this lighting optimization is because lighting is always the biggest issue in VR. It renders so hard that the computer can't process the lighting, and most of the time we worked with, so we can also write that we have to work with no dynamic lighting, but we have to work with a baked lighting. So the lighting has to be fixed all the time. Fixed as in only one source of lighting, no, not another way. And all the objects that are in the virtual reality have to be optimized. So we can't have objects that are rendering high data files. So that's also usually an issue. So we have to lower the quality of the of the vision, thus improving the performance. And try to use ready objects in our VR world that have been proven and used into other VR projects. So they are probably properly rendered. We know that.
So interesting, you know?
Yeah.
I think without this proper experience, you won't be able to make these suggestions. That's you need to be deeply involved to understand that.
Yeah. And sometimes it's also the case that we need to give a user guide as to how they have to set up the project, because that sometimes may crash the project as well. So we have to give a clear, defined guide and as to how you start the program.
Okay.
And I think this would and sometimes so in my project it was the case that we hired actually someone from Upwork, and he was a specialist yes, when it comes to optimizing VR games. So we need to probably hire a game optimizer which we can consult as to how we can further improve our VR game.
So if you don't have relevant skills, right?
Yes, it is. But those skills are coming only with time. And this guy that we consulted, he was working for the biggest game companies in the world. So he only used like 30 minutes to enhance our game in like what we would have needed for 2 months probably to figure out. It's crazy.
Got it. Yeah, this is this might be a major quick win, right? Because we will speed things up a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully. Let's
see. Okay, so that's the war room, and looks like we've tackled this one, right? Or do you want to add something to it?
No, I'm actually pretty sure that this should be resolving the issues that we're having with.
Okay. Yeah, you are very hands-on. You are basically solving this as a team member rather than project manager.
Yeah, it's mostly the case when you're working in such small teams that you have to do your research as well, and not only set tasks.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Do you want to go through this actions taken and results and add something else, or are you fine with where we are?
Probably I would also organize company dinner, because I noticed that there are some a little bit of organize maybe not company dinner, but organize one day where we and the team would go off from work and to further connect with one another. So to further connect with one another. And
so some sort of team building, right?
Yeah, team building. Yeah. I think this would be interesting, since some of the people are complaining about micromanagement and stuff, and this also would improve the efficiency within the team, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I think I would leave
So
it. Yeah,
yeah, okay, that's it for now, right?
yeah. Let's go.
Okay, sounds good. Yay!
Let's go.
Round 2.
Let's go. Actions 1 month later. Project status update. Actions taken to fix the VR issues. Lighting optimization fix. Switch to fixed lighting instead of dynamic. Reduced rendering workload significantly. Issues with glitching objects mostly resolved. Performance overhaul. No more high data objects, optimized models only. Okay, lowered VR resolution slightly to improve stability. Introduced pre-validated VR assets from other projects. Great. User-friendly guide for VR setup. Prevents crash risk caused by user-side misconfigurations. Helps no tech-savvy users run VR properly. Reviewed skill gaps. Decided to hire a game optimization specialist. Recruitment process started. Hiring expected next month. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have hired him. We should have
Yeah,
we wanted
contracted.
him. Yeah, contracted him. This will cost us a lot. We couldn't afford that. One off the team event. The team met outside work for an activity. Result: reduced tension, fewer complaints of micromanagement. Great. Lucas and Martina relationship improved slightly. Okay, great. These guys, hard to please these guys.
What's your best advice on how to do this team building and day out this day out? What would you do?
Well, for me, I always try to go and drink a couple of beers with the colleagues here. It's
Yeah, that's
always the
true.
best way to loosen up a little bit,
In
understand.
VK, same.
Yeah, right. It's the
Yes,
loosest way to understand perspectives and be more loose about what you're doing. But also playing
exactly.
games, playing sports is also have been proven to be really like group sports, like football, basketball,
Hmm.
volleyball, whatever, where everybody is engaged. That's also a great way to
Yeah, yeah,
play it, I
yeah.
think.
So the last day out I
Hmm.
visited was X throwing and then
Ah,
beer.
okay.
So it's like two in one.
It's perfect. It's perfect, really
Yeah, yeah,
perfect.
sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. So
Hmm.
uh, current metrics.
Almost on budget. We're performing great. SPI
Yeah,
scheduled is improving, but still
it
behind.
doesn't
Okay.
feel like extremely difficult project, you know.
No, 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 no.
I need to fight him a little bit more to make
Yeah,
sure that he
yeah, yeah.
understands
You should.
what's the difficult project.
Yeah, but actually, it's always the case in these VR projects. It's pretty straightforward because you can reach improvement really fast. The issue is that the clients are still not ready to suck in VR projects. So we
Mm-hmm.
always our project was really innovative, but we didn't have a real target group as to whom we wanted to
Yeah.
sell this game to, because you would need somebody who is really rich to care about this kind of stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
most of the time the idea is great, the project is great, also the team is great, but
Yeah.
the
The
market
market isn't there yet,
the
right?
market isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
um
Okay, team morale is high. Yeah, you
great.
managed to turn this around.
I
I don't think this you would succeed as much, you know,
no,
on the
no,
real project.
it's hard, it's all hard to do that. Major wins: VR performance improved by 30%, lighting issue resolved, no more crashes, team morale boosted by team building event, game optimization expert is on the way. Okay, still slightly behind schedule. Market research has been slow. David is struggling to provide clear insights. Okay, we should have to help David. Stakeholder crisis, unreasonable request. Senior stakeholders demand. Ah, A high-level executive unexpectedly demands that the project pivot to completely multiplayer VR experience, claiming that single-player VR is dead, and we need online social spaces. He doesn't understand problems
That's
with
why it's called an unreasonable request.
it is
But
an
that's what we face,
yeah,
from
that's
business
awesome.
stakeholders all the time.
This is this is my main issue now. So now it's not an issue for the developers. I have to explain to him problems with the request. It violates project constraints. Multiplayer wasn't part of the original scope. Exactly. No existing networking architecture. Adding online multiplayer would take months. Exactly. Budget constraints. This would blow up the budget. Current lacks multiplayer expertise. Devs would need new training or hires. Exactly. Okay. Okay. So what we do now?
How do you respond? First of all, you need to talk to this guy somehow.
Yes, I need to arrange a meeting with this guy. I set a meeting where we would discuss that the idea what we're developing is only for single players, since we still haven't developed an MVP. And after we have an MVP and our idea has been proven to be successful, we can further develop our project. The basic MVP has all of the functions that a player, in this case we call it a player because it's not really a player, but a home builder needs to build his dream house. So adding other players would only help us with user experience, but would lose us money, staff, time. Yeah, let's leave it at that. That should be enough, staff and time. So this issue, what we explain that multiplayer VR games are basically designed for games and not for VR projects. And different kind of people would be able to interact with our project one at a time, which is also the whole idea of the project. So for instance, the wife can go in, set some parameters, right? And then exactly. So you don't need both of them inside of the game. They would just not approve each other's ideas. And
probably you can also see it on the screen, right? Whatever wife is setting, you can see on the screen anyway.
Exactly. So
maybe we should add that as well, right?
Yeah. And also, the second player user can just see.
I would say the player, right?
Yeah.
Or VR player, let's say. VR player.
Yes. Is choosing or sees. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this should be enough reasons for our colleague here to understand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because this was the main issue. I think another one was slightly behind schedule. Well, market research. We need to address this market research. This guy, what was his name? This guy.
David.
David. Okay. David is struggling to provide clear insights. Set a meeting with David. A meeting with David, and discuss company company objectives.
I think you're thinking of how to politely say, let's get rid of him.
Yeah, I that was the case today. Actually, it's really sad that one of my colleagues had to go today just because of the same
I'm so
case.
sorry. I
Yeah,
hate these kind of discussions.
it's the
That's
worst
like,
thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. But it's as a PM, it's sometimes it's the worst thing because you have to do what the others lack to say or don't have the guts to do. So it's the dirty work, basically.
yeah.
Set up
So
a
company objectives and
set up a meeting within, discuss company objectives, and try to align him with the company. Discuss openly on how we and discuss openly on what we need from him, and give him a clear idea maybe speak openly about how his underperformance is risking others within the company. Okay, maybe a little bit too much pressure, but now he has to perform.
sometimes it's not enough pressure.
Sometimes you never know
depends
these
on the
people.
culture. It depends on the project. Yeah, heavily depends on the
I
project.
would have gotten a beer with David, I would know what to say to him.
Oh yeah. If we would know him better, right?
Yeah. Behind the schedule, okay. So maybe also set we need to set we have the objectives. We need to set a sprint for the next month. And if the requirements are met, all the company is going to a retreat. We're playing a game of
So
carrot here.
incentives now.
Yes, always we have to play with a carrot.
Probably all the team, right?
Yes.
Project team.
Yes. Project.
He is going to retreat. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's all. We addressed the issue with Stakeholder. We addressed David. We addressed the schedule. So we're good to go, I think.
Okay. We're good to go. Yay. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Project status update. Actions taken this month. Stakeholder meeting. Multiplayer rejected. You present a stronger argument against pivoting to multiplayer. Highlighted budget, timeline, and core vision conflicts. Explained that screen sharing already allows collaboration. Outcome. Stakeholder backed off, but requested a future plan for expanding social features. Post for MVP. Great. Okay. That's awesome. David's performance intervention. You had a frank discussion with David about his underperformance, clearly defined what market research is needed to align with the company objectives. Outcome, David stepped up, started collaborating with the team, and more structured research reports are coming in.
Never in my life. That's what happened.
Never. You would have to say to David, if you don't do this, we're fired in 2 weeks probably, and even then he would leave the third day probably. However, trust is still
even if I talked like in the harshest possible way, because I'm Ukrainian, and in our culture we're much more straightforward and frank than in companies, like people in the West, or in the East even. and I was talking in the harshest possible way with people, and nothing changed. So
No.
it doesn't matter how hard you try. It's just
No,
like
no, no, no,
it's not
no,
gonna
no.
happen.
No way, no way. Sometimes you just can't get under these people's skin.
Yeah.
David stepped up. Okay, however, trust is still weak. The team is waiting to see if his work actually helps. Okay. Sprint planning and team reward system. A 1 month sprint was set with clear deliverables, motivation boost, a spring boost. Okay, outcome team worked harder and deliverables progressed well. Great, of course, incentives always work.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yay.
Project. Okay, CPI 1.02, slightly under budget. Okay, that's we have to focus more on CPI.
1.02 is good. Is good.
It's
So
good.
we're under budget. We have some additional money. So 0.96 SPI,
0.96.
we are basically on schedule, I would say.
Scheduling, catching up. Okay. Team morale rising, sprint reward gave extra motivation. Right. MVP progressed, accelerated, stakeholder requested, deflected without conflict. David is finally showing effort. The team is aligned, working towards a common goal. David still needs to prove long-term reliability. Okay, we can't. We always have to be with David. Minor remaining VR performance issues, lingering tensions between Lucas and Martino. Not a major issue, but still exists. Of course, these guys.
And
new crisis. Great. Conflict arises. Lucas threatens to quit. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no matter how hard we try with these two.
Always. Lucas, the senior developer, is frustrated with Martina again. He says he's tired of constant debates and feels that his technical decisions aren't respected. He's critical to the project. Losing him would set development back months. Team is divided. Some feel Martina is too rigid. Others think Lucas is too dismissive. Okay, but everybody is is leading towards firing Martina here. Seems Martina is the problem. Okay, so I don't know. Now it's becoming really interesting. But I've also noticed that we haven't gotten an answer to our specialist, optimizing specialist, and we were supposed to hire him. So if we would hire him, I would probably get rid of Lucas if we have hired him. But
what happened with that hire? Actually, I think he just forgot.
yeah. We didn't get a response from that guy.
Yeah. Let's ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so we ask what's with the hiring, and maybe we can just fire Lucas and get this guy to do his work. If he's getting along with Martina, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What's next?
Let's go. I think this is the main thing, because we can't address the other issue.
Yeah, but you are planning the whole month. So are you going to do just that for the month, or?
No. Actually, can we go a little bit further up? Just
sure.
Okay.
Here?
Yes. So David still needs to prove long-term reliability. This is something that I can't address. Minor remaining VR performance issues. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is also the issue of our specialist. Lingering tensions between Lucas and Martina. Okay. This is actually... These are our main issues, so I don't see how we can do something extra. Probably we can do something extra, but Nothing comes to my mind right
I
now.
also feel like we've solved everything, to be honest. It's just the only thing is...
now it's only HR. So if we would hire an HR, probably they would get along.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's advance time just one more time. And I think this would be the last one.
Okay, let's go. Okay, major change. Lucas has been replaced. Bye-bye, Lucas. Decision. You let Lucas go and transitioned responsibilities to the new... Okay, Felix. Nice to meet you. Reasoning, Felix had better alignment with Martina and expertise is in optimizing VR performance. Outcome, VR rendering improved by 25%. Felix cleaned up. Code bloat, no more major tech disputes. Team harmony improved, but some team members miss Lucas' senior level experience. Okay, of course.
We're gonna miss him for sure.
Yeah, but 2 weeks and then he's forgotten. Current project. That's most of the time the case with these guys. Major wins. VR system is now optimized for better performance. No more major conflicts. Team working smoothly. MVP development progressing without major blockers. The retreat was approved. Team feels rewarded. Great. Okay. Great. Okay, Felix is still remaining.
Wow.
Oi!
You are like the luckiest man on earth.
I'm getting a new crisis. Okay, stakeholder interference again. Problem: the investors want a public demo next month. The project is not ready for. Maybe I should have stated that we need a demo last time as well, but we only cared about HR stuff. The project is not ready for public release. The MVP is functional but missing polish and testing. If you refuse, investors might lose confidence. If you agree, you risk delivering on unpolished product that might backfire. Okay, so we definitely need to to finish this off. So organize an MVP. First of all, we need to do user testing. So organize user testing.
Like user acceptance testing, right?
Yes, user acceptance testing.
And probably a demo as part of it, right?
Yes, and the demo is also a part of it. We need to also test it in multiple users and different kind of hardware, so that we know it's working on every hardware. Make sure that the team make sure to organize a team meeting into planning a sprint of, and call it demo testing sprint. Okay, if you refuse, okay, that's not the case. The MVP is functional but missing polish and testing. This project is not ready for public release. Test. I don't know if we should test if it also runs on the cloud, because we've probably have tested it only locally up until now, but that will be the case in user acceptance testing. But let's write it once again. Should we test if it runs on cloud? Probably we need to do that. Yes. What else do we need to do? Actually,
so we have UAT, user acceptance testing, and we need to hand over. Probably we need to prepare.
Yeah,
for the handover.
Prepare the handover. Yes.
Oh, not just that. We also forgot about the plan that we promised to the senior stakeholder about like phase 2. You know, we need that as well.
Yeah. Prepare a plan for multiplayer user or multiplayer. Okay, I'm just getting this called.
Sure, you can take it. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we also need to prepare the plan for the multiplayer feature to develop to deliver it in the next phase. For the senior stakeholder, I would add that. All right. While you are on the call, I'll just check. Maybe we've missed something else. Uh, so yeah, it's a bit strange that scale performance index is 1, so we delivered everything we've planned to, we've
Mm-hmm.
promised,
Mm-hmm.
and we did this under budget, so we saved some money. But still, we did not prepare the project for the handover, so probably it's not 1 then.
Mm-hmm.
It's or
It's
maybe we have some time and it shouldn't. They're just like panicking because they don't know what's happening or something. I don't know.
probably also the case.
Anyway, okay,
This should be
shall
probably
we?
the. Let's go.
Let's go with that one. Okay, that's fine. So I would say that this is action number 6. So that would be our last action for today. Let's see what the outcome of our decisions is. Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
doing it with me as well. So
Uh-huh.
we now have 2 outcomes,
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
and we can pick one.
85 user
I
test.
would just select left or right. They're
Okay.
extremely similar in
Hmm.
any case. So yeah,
Okay.
probably. Or you can pick and choose.
I'd like to
Let me.
go with the left one since it
It's
was
with
the
the
first
rocket, right?
response. It's the first response.
Okay, so let's go with the left one.
Hmm.
It's we need to give it some time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Final score 92. What about you?
No,
Where is final score?
I didn't see it.
Also 92.
92.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
But you
nice.
can choose
Senior level.
any. You can choose any of
Okay.
the 2.
Okay. Okay.
Game over, you won.
That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I like this one as well. So,
Okay. Actions taken: organize user acceptance testing, tested the MVP, real users across various VR hardware, Oculus, ETS, standalone VR. Outcome: 85% of test users found the experience smooth and engaging. Great. Ensured cloud compatibility. Outcome: successful tested cloud safe functionality. User can store and retrieve their dream home design seamlessly. Ran the demo testing sprint. Focus bug fixes, user feedback, integration, and demo preparation. Outcome: stability improved by 40%. Visual optimizations made the experience smoother on lower end hardware. Prepared for handover. Next phase planning. Multiplayer plan, documented feasibility, budget estimate, and timeline for multiplayer in phase 2. Project handover, docs ready. Finalized technical documentation, market research, market insight, and feature roadmap for next team. Okay, great. Final project metrics: CPI, cost performance index, 1.07. Okay. Project delivered under budget. 1.02 for the SPI, deliver slightly ahead of schedule. That's awesome. Team morale high. The team felt rewarded and aligned by the end. That's also super important to me. VR system stable and all major platforms. User testing validated core features. Players enjoyed building their dream homes. Demo was a success. Stakeholders happy with progress. Multiplayer feature plan ready for future development. Great. Awesome. Okay, final
we
performance.
can skip that if you want,
Okay.
or we can read that
Great.
because it's like yeah, we can
That's
let's just
awesome.
skip that. Your
That'd be
final
awesome.
score is 92 out of 100.
I'm happy with it.
And
I'm happy with it. That
oh
shows.
yeah, I would take that as well. I would
Yeah.
definitely take that.
That's awesome. I really liked the way that the game really understood major issues into a VR project. As I told to you during the game, it was pretty amazing that it rose to those issues like lightning optimization, which was the same kind of issues that I was facing into my project. I found that really
Amazing.
interesting, amazing, really amazing. It felt as if I went back in time to that project. Really, I didn't have so
Wow.
much issues with the staff as it played it out, but the other technical issues were on point. It was amazing.
Uh-huh.
Really interesting. Really
What
interesting.
would you suggest me to improve maybe for your future games? What do we need to change?
Um,
Probably like interactions with the people, right? Where we
interaction.
ask him to be good and nice, and he's suddenly good and nice
Yes,
with
probably.
everyone.
Yes, probably the human complexity is still a little bit of a riddle to him, and maybe not always decide on the good point, but sometimes maybe take the negative character.
Mm-hmm.
That was sometimes the issue, and maybe at I mean, the technical issues were really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think as if I had any other technical issues during that project, but most of the time it was only, of course, budget, which wasn't our case here. We couldn't manage budget, but the main issue was always rendering those objects into the VR, which always made it so hard for the set to go on, and it played it out perfectly. So I don't know, in the technical aspect it's really great. Only the HR, human resources, was kind of, yeah, as you also said, it played out to be, let's be great, and it also said, yeah, let's go. Maybe that's the only
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll try and change that. I will also try and convince him to be more realistic and
Hmm.
less optimistic about stuff
Uh,
because I can see that now it's extremely optimistic.
yes,
So
yes, yes,
and
exactly.
and it's strange because the last thing I changed was I asked it to be much more realistic. I asked it to add some sort of hidden issues, which it just ignored me basically.
Yeah.
And also I asked it to, when choosing for outcomes, to choose evenly between
Mm.
like neutral, positive, and negative outcome
Uh-huh.
of actions.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't do that. It's just like
No.
ignoring me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's the problem with AI right now. But I hope I will solve these problems.
Mm.
And maybe if I do, I will
Mm.
invite you to play again with maybe
Sounds
different
great.
domain, maybe next time, next month or something.
Sounds
Let's
great.
see how it
I
goes.
really, really enjoyed the experience for sure. And as I said, it brought me back in time. So I thank you for it. Thank
That's
you.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. And yeah,
Awesome.
hopefully I will see you again next time. And just one second, let me stop the recording
Hmm.
just there.